Welcome to Money Talks, the ultimate financial news upload, where knowledge meets in Parliament join the money getter duo, CC and Cecil B, as we unravel the mysteries of finance Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. From the latest in fintech, cryptocurrencies, real estate, electric vehicles, IPOs, and Wall Street, to the rise of robotics and AI, we cover it all. So tune in as we share in the spotlight on how Black entertainers and creators alike are shaping finance and tackling IPOs, giving you the information you need to thrive in today's economy. This is Money Talks. Good evening. Today is December 18th, and you're watching Money Talks. I'm your host, Cecil B. Money Getter, and first up tonight in Crypto Compass News, Arthur Hayes, the youngest African-American billionaire, shaking up crypto. Arthur Hayes, Chief Investment Officer at Maelstrom, co-founder and former CEO of BitMEX, said that the Trump administration may adopt aggressive fiscal policies to boost the U.S. economy using tax credits, subsidies, and cheap financing to reshore key industries and drive GDP growth. The goal is to stimulate economic activity by encouraging domestic expansion and hiring, which would increase consumer spending. However, this strategy carries risks for the U.S. dollar. A key concern is higher inflation, driven by increased demand and a larger money supply. To fund these initiatives, the Treasury would need to issue more debt. It may keep yields on bonds and savings below inflation rates. This could lead to negative actual returns, reducing the purchasing power of savings and weakening the dollar. For Hayes, if inflation outpaces returns on traditional savings, investors might lose confidence in the dollar, turning to assets like gold or Bitcoin as better inflation hedges. Additionally, large budget deficits and increased borrowing could flood the market with dollars, diluting their value and potentially leading to currency depreciation. Trump and his team have clarified that they plan to weaken the dollar. This will coincide with funding to reshoring of the American industry. With Republicans controlling the government, they can pass Trump's economic agenda without significant opposition. Democrats are likely to support these spending measures, as no politician can resist offering benefits to their constituents. The plan involves passing bills similar to the CHIPS Act and infrastructure bill to incentivize domestic manufacturing of critical goods. This will spur massive bank credit growth as companies expand through government subsidies and loans. At some point, the Fed is expected to exempt treasuries from the SLR, enabling unlimited quantitative easing. Industrial policy and regulatory easing will flood the market with bank credit, and it will also boost assets like Bitcoin and crypto. The COVID stimulus added around $4 trillion in credit. This new wave could be even larger, driven by rising defense and healthcare spending. Shifting manufacturing back to the U.S. will be costly, potentially requiring trillions in financing. Given the deep integration of global supply chains centered in China, if the goal is to significantly reduce the debt to GDP ratio, it could require over $10 trillion in new credit. This unprecedented money creation could drive Bitcoin to 1 million as global investors seek a safe haven amid currency devaluation. Hayes dubs this economic approach American capitalism with Chinese characteristics, drawing parallels to China's growth strategy over the past few decades. Get in the comments and let me know what you think and how you feel. And up next, in Drug Money and Crime, Rayful Edlin, the infamous DC Kingpin's final chapter ends with him dead in federal custody. Rayful Edlin, a drug kingpin who stoked a crack cocaine epidemic in Washington, D.C. in the 1980s and later cooperated with prosecutors to bring down cocaine traffickers years after he was sentenced to life in prison, died on Tuesday in Florida. He was 60 years old. Christy Brashears, a spokeswoman for Federal Bureau of Prisons, confirmed his death. She said she had no information on the cause. Mr. Edmond had been living in a halfway house in Miami, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Calls to the house were not immediately answered. Mr. Edmond, who was sentenced to a life prison bid at 25, was one of the most prominent drug lords in the United States Capitol in the 1980s. His profile grew as charges against him were aired in court. Prosecutors accused him of distributing as much as 1/3 of the cocaine in the city during a period when Washington had the nation's worst murder rate. They said his drug empire moved 400 pounds of cocaine and generated up to $2 million a week. Mr. Edmond oversaw a 150-member drug ring that employed minors and imported cocaine from around the country, prosecutors said. His success financed a lavish lifestyle that included luxury cars, designer goods, they said. Mr. Edmond denied being involved in drug dealing during the case. As his influence grew in the late 80s, he was seen with stars from the Georgetown women's basketball team that prompted the team's coach, John Thompson, to request a meeting. In his biography, Mr. Thompson said he had urged Mr. Edmond to keep his players out of trouble. Mr. Edmond shares his wealth with loyal friends, even giving children in his neighborhood $100 bills, according to prosecutors and court testimony. But prosecutors said that his enterprise devastated lives, and they charged him with 3 counts of murder. His trial on drug trafficking charges became a test case for prosecuting suspected drug lords who were feared in the communities where jurors live. Members of the jury in his case were separated from spectators by bulletproof glass, and their identities were kept secret. An informant whose name was accidentally disclosed in court was later shot in the leg. Mr. Edmond was sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole in 1990 after a jury convicted him of running a criminal drug enterprise. He was not convicted on the murder charges. I think that me and my family and my friends all should have been found not guilty, he told the Washington Post after his conviction. All of us are loving, caring people who have kids. We're just like everyone else in Washington, D.C. At first, even from prison, he did not stop drug trafficking. Mr. Edmond expanded his operations after building deeper connections with drug traffickers to the point that he was trafficking more cocaine while in prison than he had outside. Then Deputy Attorney General Eric Holder told the television program 60 Minutes in '97. His control of the drug trade made him an object of fascination for rap artists in the 1990s. Jay-Z referenced Mr. Edmond by name in his '96 song, Can I Live? His success led the Justice Department to create a task force to curb the proliferation of drug trafficking in prisons. He pled guilty in '96 to brokering deals between DC dealers and Colombian drug cartels from a Pennsylvania prison. Mr. Edmond eventually became a major informant. He testified as a government witness in cases that led to the convictions of other cocaine traffickers, participated in covert sting operations, and fed the government information on the killings of 2 inmates in a Pennsylvania prison. A lot of my friends from the neighborhood lost their lives because I brought drugs into the community, told 60 Minutes in '97. I feel bad about them. Back then, I was just thinking about the power. Get in the comments and let me know what you think and how you feel.
34 Listening Library YouTube channel for self-help shorts and audiobooks. Follow us on Instagram at 734 Miscellaneous LLC to continue our journey of growth and success together. I'll see you at the top. Holla.